What's going on, everybody? This is Lady Luck here again. Okay, I wanted to try to put some information out there because for some reason, I guess we're in some alternate form of reality where NovaTech somehow is a real thing, and it was never a real thing. It was always a Ponzi scheme, and that's pretty much it. So I want to address this issue here with this recovery scam. I don't know if you guys have seen this video here, but this video is on this channel, All Crypto, DG Fred, whatever, RDS. This is a phishing scam. Okay, they're going through the motions of how to create a trust wallet, but they're using this script. This is all too common related to scams, where they have scripts and then they get into your software program by way of some sort of a join a link or whatever they have you click on, and then they alter the inspect element on the website, on the web page you're looking at, and then they change the programming language for you to see something completely different. So if you've ever seen a video of a refund scammer, like if you watch a scam baiting video, the first thing that the scammer does is try to get access to your device. They send you a link, and it's usually for them to remotely control your device. They go in, they inspect the element, they have you download some app or something to that extent, inspect element, and then they change some of the programming codes once you've logged into your bank and have you think that they're giving you a refund, when in actuality they're just transferring money from your savings to your checking. So in a nutshell, that refund scam has people fooled to believe that they actually received a refund, but then they add an extra zero to the amount. So instead of it being $150 of this alleged refund, it's like $1,500 or $15,000, something astronomical, depending on how much you have in your accounts and how much they can transfer. So if you've never seen a scam baiting video, that's pretty much the premise of what they do. A phishing scam, phishing, is basically a scam where a scammer sends some form of electronic communication, like a link or an email, have you click on something or input information or URL into your computer system, and then you're basically giving them access to remotely control your device. And you could be putting in information that they're able to then capture from that link or that app that you downloaded, and then they can get all of your information to access all of the crypto in your wallet and steal it. So if you see this video, please understand that this is a phishing scam. It's no different than the other recovery scams that everybody keep talking about in the comment section of their videos. I see a few of them in mine, so there are definitely recovery scams out there, but I don't get them as much as everybody else do, because I guess they know not to play with me like that. Plus, I don't have any tolerance for it. I'll block those users so they can't keep posting those comments in my videos, because I don't want any of my supporters to fall victim, because they may not know that I've already said that I don't have a Telegram or WhatsApp number, and then they see that and they actually think it's from me. It's not. When you guys have seen these comments talking about Adriana Tech Talk or whatever it is, Grift Tech, Talcum, all that nonsense, those are recovery scams. This is a recovery scam with a phishing scam in particular. But the gist of it is the same. It's all designed to take control of the crypto in your e-wallet to steal your money, and to try to do it under the premise of they're trying to help you recover. This isn't real. All right? So I just want to point that out. And just to bring that point home, you see, I did just a Google search about a trust wallet. Is it safe? In case you misplace or lose your device, Trust Wallet provides a safe storage of private keys or recovery seed phrases for backup purposes. The recovery phrase, often referred to as a seed phrase, is a string of random words produced by your crypto wallet used to access funds across decentralized wallets. So there is a such thing as, you all can see here, Trust Wallet is still a hot wallet and it is accordingly subject to phishing scams. These phishing websites, phishers can easily steal seed phrases and gain access to a user's wallet. Because all this stuff is decentralized, lost funds can never be recovered from the wallets. So you see that here, where basically if you put that information, that script, into your software, you have no idea what you might be giving a scammer access to do in your device, especially pertaining to this trust wallet that you created using their script. What I encourage all of you to do, and I know this is rather difficult because when people have been scammed out of money, and I'm talking about a lot of money here, money you need to pay your bills, take care of your kids, you know, it gets to a point where it's hard to distinguish, you know, fact from fiction. And there's this, you know, for some reason, level of gullibility that some people still maintain because they want to get their money back. But in your pursuit of trying to get your money back and recover your money that was stolen from you, you know, I just implore you all to use wisdom. If it doesn't make sense, Google it. I look things up all the time. You guys know that. And then I show you all, based on my findings, what I've discovered. And I share that information. Anybody can Google this information here. I mean, you can just type in Trust Wallet. And you're going to get a lot of hits back. And, of course, it's going to talk about the many, many, many scams related to crypto. Problem is, you got these scammers making this whole DeFi space with crypto and all of that look so bad to the point where it's going to destroy the trust of the public, because people are going to get tired of being victim to scams, falling victim to scams. It's exhausting. So, and I think it's worse that NovaTech lasted as long as it did, because it just carries on the longevity of the damage that was also done. I don't see it as a badge of honor to say that you existed as a Ponzi scheme for almost from 4.5 to almost 5 years, but then you don't want to consider the amount of money that has been stolen and lost in this Ponzi scheme that lasted that long. The moment they opened their mouth and said that they were a registered or licensed hedge fund or a broker was the moment that they lied and chose to be deceptive. They chose to withhold information about their finances, about their bankruptcies, about their 4 lawsuits total that this little girl and her dumb husband lost because they failed to appear for those lawsuit hearings, those court hearings. You know, it's nuts, and it's unbelievable to hear anybody say that the court should never ever consider what is a pattern of behavior and repeat offenses of defrauding people, and then trying to hide behind the guise of a bankruptcy. They filed bankruptcy twice because they simply wanted to avoid paying their debts. They owe people money. They've lost a collective amount of 4 lawsuits. This little girl lost 3 and the husband lost 1. And then when they had access to money, they still failed to pay people back. They lost the lawsuits too because they failed to appear in court. So with that FTA, the judge was able to give a ruling in favor of the petitioner, which is the person that they sued, they behinds in the court of law. And because of that, you know, they They never presented themselves in court in any evidence or tried to defend themselves whatsoever. Because of that, now you have this pattern that's been developed that will be considered in every single investigation. They have 3 cease orders. If the 4 lawsuits they've lost together, 2 bankruptcies, and now 3 cease orders aren't enough to convince you that this is a Ponzi scheme, I honestly, personally don't know what else to tell you. I really don't. This is why, the statistics show people who are falling victim to a scam are at least 60% more likely to fall victim to more scams following that. And it's a mixture of being desperate to just get your money back and willing to be hopeful, even when it's not healthy, versus the gullibility and willingness to believe whatever without any facts or evidence, because it's hard to digest the idea that you were scammed. But in reality, that's exactly what happened. I don't expect everybody to take it well. But the less people speak up about it, the harder it's going to be to get these agencies to really hit the gas pedal on bringing about some real action. Some of these Ponzi schemes you see, like FTX collapse, it's because it was so much attention, around that case. You had celebrities and NFL, NBA players and other people that were promoting it involved in that. And because of the amount of money that, FTX stole through their Ponzi scheme, it was hard to ignore it. So if you do not report NovaTech, I know it's frustrating. It's going to stay under the rug. And the only way this girl is going to stop doing all this scamming and scheming with people is if she gets caught by the arm of the law. I mean, literally. She went from one scam to another scam. I mean, AWS mining was a Ponzi scheme. You can't tell somebody, if her husband was a COO allegedly and she was a VP, they ain't have anything to do with it. No, they just dodged accountability. Same thing they're trying to do now. It's their ego and pride that won't allow them to just cease with this website. Keeping up false hope for no reason, and then the audacity to take people's money and then try to make the determination that it's going to hold your money hostage and start a whole new Ponzi scheme and just rebrand. Everybody's not okay with that, little girl. So give back the money to those who don't want you to use their money to start a new Ponzi scheme business. Ponzi scheme, not a business. And then if those who want to follow into the next Ponzi scheme, you let them. Let them. But leave everybody else that doesn't want anything to do with it and that wants to get their money back, leave them out of it. Stop holding their money hostage. Pay them back. If you have any money, which I personally believe she does not. If she had money, you all will still be getting paid. And I don't think this thing would have collapsed the way it did. But clearly, there's no money to give you all. There's no such thing as her not paying you all back because of a court battle. Because, I'm sorry, what's the name of the judge that was assigned the case? What's the name of the courthouse where this case is so-called being battled at? Hold on, let me just help you out so you can understand where I'm coming from. But yeah, y'all make sure you all read about this hot wallet and phishing scams. Don't click that video and put that script in there because it's a scam. Don't do that. This is a California cease order, so I want you guys to pay attention to page 5 at the bottom, the very last paragraph. You will see down, and I quote, pursuant to Corporations Code Section 25532, NovaTech, and it names all the subsidiaries and these peons, are hereby ordered to desist and refrain from the further offer or sale of securities in California, including but not limited to investment contracts known as packages, unless and until the qualification requirements of the CSL have been met. Basically, in other words, this cease order has already been finalized and ordered. You cannot go to court and battle anything on what is seen as a closed case. They've already given a final decision and order on this matter here with these allegations. First of all, the allegations have to be investigated. Evidence has to be gathered before a cease order is even drafted, let alone issued and signed. Because cease orders can become enforceable actions in the court of law if you violate it. And if it is proven that you willfully violated it and you are found in contempt of order. So you have to have evidence, because if it becomes a criminal issue, the judge is not going to sit here and put their name on any bench warrant, on any summons or anything where they're ordered to go to court because they violated a court order. And there's not even a sufficient amount of evidence to even support the cease order. This is just common sense. But if you want to, and I encourage all of you all to try to debunk me, please do that. Call an attorney and ask some questions, or you can read and research how cease orders work. Only a federal court or government agency can issue cease orders. But they have to be investigated and evidence has to be gathered before they can even draft this cease order and issue the cease order and then sign it and put it in effect. They also give the respondent opportunity to respond. So when there's a cease order, whether the petitioner is an agency or an individual that filed a complaint with an agency or a federal court, in and of itself, they give the respondent or the defendant the opportunity to respond, request a hearing, present their evidence and a rebuttal, anything to defend themselves. They failed to do it. They didn't even respond to the cease order. They failed to request a hearing. They did nothing. You can't leave these cases open until eternity, until the defendants or the respondents decide on their own terms when they're going to go and try to request a hearing to try to fight this stuff. There's only so much time that they have to request a hearing to try to even prepare a defense in a case. The court will be willing to grant them that if they requested it, but they didn't. They ignored this. I guess they thought it was for play. You have morons and goons talking about it wasn't signed, therefore it's not valid. Keep playing with the courts. I don't. How much more needs to happen before people realize this is not a joke? It's not a game. Here's the cease order from the OSC in Canada. You see at the bottom, page 2, it is ordered pursuant to section 127 of the act that, and then it lists what they are ordered and mandated to do. Basically, to cease and desist and stop pissing people off and stealing their money. This is finalized. This is a final order. And what's particularly special about the cease order from California is that little girl was ordered and summoned to a hearing. And they rejected the summons. There was an FTA, a failure to appear. And then they were actually ordered and summoned to appear for the extension hearing. Meaning there was an extension hearing to determine how much longer should this order be in effect. Basically. So until they have met the conditions that's set forth by the federal laws concerning selling securities assets, trading, all the issues that were addressed in the allegations, until the conditions to become compliant are met, these cease orders shall remain in effect, even though the cases, the investigations, and the window of opportunity to request a hearing has closed and passed for them. If they fail to take action, you can't give them till eternity to do something. They're either going to do the right thing and try to defend themselves, present evidence, present proof of legitimate trading, something to help defend themselves. If they fail to do it, you can't force them, but the court is still going to rule, or the agency issuing the cease order that has the power to issue the cease order and enforce it are going to make a final determination and decision. And it's not going to be years while this thing is sitting open, because they expect people to wait for them to make a move and do something. That's not how it works. The law does not bend to your will. It simply doesn't. And if you want to find out the hard way, test it out. Let's see how well you do if you get sued, if you get criminal charges filed against you. It's so dumb to think that the law is supposed to be manipulated based on how you feel about it. That's not how it works. No one is above the law. And you violating whole laws in a whole nother country. And you expect them not to say anything? You expect them not to take action? You're stealing money from people. If you want to show that you were trading, show proof of trading. Why in the hell is that the most simplest thing to do, but also the most difficult thing to do? Is it because there was no proof of legitimate trading? So for all the Ponzi promoters out here that was promoting NovaTech and still defending it to this very day, and I'm still puzzled as to why, where's the proof of legitimate trading again that went to market? Not be booking it. Market trading that went to market. Legitimate trading. Where's the proof again? If the cease order lied about a financial statement, people not getting statements, why the hell are you getting one and no one else? And why haven't you posted it? Just show the statement. And please do understand it will be scrutinized, because there has to be some grounds or basis to prove its validity. You can't just put things out there, expect people to believe it, and not expect pushback when you fail to provide evidence. The Pettons cannot walk into a courthouse and say, I want to address these cease orders, and then expect to just have any litigation to occur. That is not how the hell it works. And if people are saying that it is, they're ignorant to how processes work when it comes to court hearings. It's not how it works. You cannot go and litigate a case that is considered closed, or an order that has been considered finalized, or any case that has been granted any judgment or verdict, depending on what it is. You can't litigate cases that are closed and have been finalized and ruled upon. It is ordered, meaning this is final. They failed to show up for the hearings. They failed to actually provide any rebuttal. They failed to request a hearing, or at least request a reschedule. They failed to also appear to the extension hearing that they were summoned to do. 2 summons they were issued for 2 different hearings, and they failed to appear for either hearing. I don't even know at what point was that ever optional for people to just decide they're not gonna, go to a hearing when they're summoned to do it. How is that optional for them? Why do they think they're above the law? Only a criminal would think that it's okay to break laws repeatedly and you should get away with it. It's disgusting. It's gross. Here's the Wisconsin cease order. Once again, it is further ordered that this order shall be sent promptly by certified mail to each party named in the order at his or her last known address. Yada, yada, yada. You can read it at the bottom. Section C, letter J. They also noted that they had the opportunity to request a hearing, which they failed to do. They actually state what was proposed and what was ordered. This is finalized. There's no litigating a finalized court order or a closed case. You can't go back and litigate it when you get damn ready to do it. That is not how it works. So if you're claiming that they are battling something in court, it will not be on a cease order that has been finalized in a case that has been considered closed. So what is the case number for the particular court battle that they're going through in the court of law? If you allege that they're in the court of law and having to appear in court, you will see a scheduled hearing on a calendar for that courthouse and the judge assigned to that case, because that is how that crap works. So let's say the Wisconsin cease order has become an enforceable action. And because of that, now you're talking about a criminal proceeding because of criminal charges. Primarily because they violated the court order and now they're being held in contempt of court, which would warrant an actual court appearance on a criminal charge. They already violated federal laws, so that's a felony. And now they are facing, hypothetically speaking, charge of contempt of court order because they violated either parts or whole the entire court order itself. And now this is enforceable action. So let me show you something. Okay, so this is an example of a courthouse calendar. Now let's say that the cease order issued from Wisconsin, from those agencies that have the power to issue a cease order, became enforceable actions because they violated the cease order. What would happen is that the prosecutor, the DA, would then file charges for a contempt of court order. And then those charges would be addressed in a federal court. And yes, it would be assigned to a specific judge, and they would get a court date. And you see here that you can see the judge, the date, the time, the room, case number. It could be even in person. You'll see courtroom number. Let's start with Judge Conley. Courtroom 250, or it could be done over a telephone or video conference. As you can see here where it says room, you see the options with either, telephonic, or you see video conference, or you see the courtroom where people are reporting in person for a hearing. Then you have a case number, and you have a case name. So if it's the state of Wisconsin, it'd be U.S. versus or the state of Wisconsin versus NovaTech, Cynthia Petillon, Eddie Petillon, and maybe all the subsidiaries. And then you will see a description. What type of hearing is it? You have sentencing, plea hearings, a preliminary pretrial, trial, initial appearance, arraignment, a status conference. You have options on the type of hearing that has been scheduled. If you look at the date, you'll see June 30th. This is the courthouse calendar for the U.S. District Court, which is a federal court in the Western District of Wisconsin. Now, I don't know if that cease order falls under the Western District jurisdiction. It could be Eastern, the Northern, the Southern. The state of Wisconsin has more than one district court in more than one district. So wherever that case would fall under would be based on where the crime was committed or the petitioner's last known address or the respondent's last known address. So if the petitioner lives in fall under the jurisdiction of the Western District or even the Eastern or Northern District, it will fall in the lap of those courthouses in that district based on the address of the petitioner. So here's an example of courthouse calendar. So when I say, what is the proof that they're battling something in court? This is public information. This will never be secret. It will never be something that's kept under wraps. You can have a sealed indictment. Those are charges itself. But as far as a court appearance or court hearing, that is not secret information. That is information that is made available to the public. You also have a judge's calendar. So Judge Conley, Judge James D. Peterson, these are the names of the judges that these cases are assigned to. They also have a calendar that is made available to the public. So you can either find information on that so-called court battle they have or hearing, either on the courthouse calendar or on the judge's calendar. But at the very least, you can see proof that they are indeed battling anything in the court of law. Now, I've said in my last video, when you had a couple morons that keep relaying information from some dumb confidant that still fails to provide evidence or documentation of anything that they're saying. I'm almost wondering if the confidant is just trolling people at this point. It's got to be a whole new layer of cruelty to sit here and rub salt on the wound, having promoters pump out information with no evidence whatsoever, or just pump out nonsense that have no logic to it, especially when there's someone out there that knows better. So when you say that they're battling something in court, you need to be able to show that with a case ID number or anything to show proof that they at least have a court hearing that is scheduled. At the very least. Because this is not something I can make up. This is public information. And I'm not seeing anything that was scheduled. And this is just one court in the Western District. You still have the other districts in federal courts in those districts. I haven't seen any case that is active and open where they're going to court and they have scheduled court hearings, because those are not it's not like walking at a clinic. You can't just walk into the courthouse and demand a hearing and demand that the courts allow you to address a cease order that has already been finalized and ordered, and the case associated has been closed. You cannot go battle a closed case. That is not how it works. So if there is an open and active case where they actually are going to court with their attorneys, then the actual court hearing would have been scheduled. And yes, you can go back and look back on previous dates on this calendar. I am literally looking at the hearings that were scheduled on June 30th. So what day did they have this alleged court battle or court hearing? And what is the case number? If it is pertaining to a new lawsuit, if they were sued by someone, that is going to have a separate case number. It's going to have a different case number from the court filing that's on the cease orders, because it's a totally different case. The petitioner is a totally different person from the agencies or the court that issued the cease orders and signed off on them and put them into effect. So the case numbers are not even going to be the same. If someone else filed an individual lawsuit, it's a civil matter, but it will have its own case number assigned to it. It will not be the same case number that you see on any of the cease orders, because that's how that works. And if they have a court appearance, it will be scheduled and it will be made available to the public on a courthouse calendar or on a judge's calendar. At least give the name of the darn judge that was assigned this case, allegedly with NovaTech, that they're somehow battling in the court of law. Or you can accurately state what the hell is going on and stop feeding misinformation to people with no proof. I have covered the cease orders in grave detail, and I understand what it means when it says it is ordered. Those are finalized. And there's no going back to battle anything that has been finalized. They are still also in effect. Laws do not become less effective simply because someone was found guilty or innocent of a charge of that law. So, for instance, if you're charged with attempted armed robbery or armed robbery, and you are found innocent of that charge, it does not mean that the laws revolving around armed robbery become less effective. It just means that there was not enough evidence to get a guilty verdict regarding you being charged with it. So simply because the cases are closed and the order has been issued with the cease orders does not mean that the cease orders are less effective. They're still in effect. And as I stated, the cease order from Wisconsin could easily be converted into an enforceable action. So if that has happened and they were scheduled for a hearing, I should see that on a courthouse calendar for any court in any district that is assigned to, or on the judge's calendar that is assigned to this case with NovaTech versus whatever's going on. So to make those frivolous types of statements with no proof of evidence or a lack of understanding of how court proceedings work or court hearings or how they're scheduled, it is extremely reckless. If you have proof that you got a statement, show the proof. That's all I'm saying. Show the proof. If the one thing that they could use and show to help prove their defense, which is showing proof of legitimate trading, why in the hell are they so stubborn to that? Why these Ponzi promoters are sitting here defending this nonsense but refuse to show proof of legitimate trading? The one piece of evidence that could possibly clear this all up. Why is there such a stubbornness to produce that evidence? If they had money, why aren't people getting their money back? Why does she believe that she can hold people's money hostage and keep it and start a whole new Ponzi scheme? Where's the logic in that? If they had the money to pay people back, I would like to think that they would just pay people back, because it's very annoying to sit here and leave people in lingo. Just because a website was renewed or whatever the hell it was with that, because I didn't personally report on that because I know it does not make a difference. Does not mean that it is not a Ponzi scheme that didn't collapse. I think it's cruel to even keep up appearances with these websites like that, paying people pennies on a dollar, having them believe that somehow you're trying to fight things, having dumb confidants spread misinformation with no proof whatsoever, or just spreading falsehoods about the process of a damn court hearing with no evidence that they're actually battling anything in court. Because you can't walk into a courthouse and demand that someone sees you right away for a cease order that has been finalized and ruled upon and ordered for a case that is not closed. There's a such thing called double jeopardy. So when you're charged with a crime, you can't be charged with the same crime twice. They would reopen a case concerning the cease order if there's new evidence pertaining to that cease order and the allegations noted in the cease order. Or it could have become an enforceable action, to which if there's a court appearance that was scheduled, I should still see that court hearing that was scheduled on a calendar for the courthouse and the judge assigned to the case, because that is how the hell it works. Period. And you literally cannot factually prove that it does not work that way, because I literally just showed evidence on how that works. You have a former president that cannot even hide a court hearing appearance. If it's public information for a former president that was scheduled to appear in court, why the hell would anyone think that this would be all of a sudden top secret for these dumb peons? It wouldn't be. It is public information. Now, I've always challenged you all to please debunk me with facts. But putting statements out there and expecting people to just trust what you say after they have been victimized and lost money to a dumbass Ponzi scheme, in my mind personally, it's just cruel and malice and unnecessary. It's cruel. You don't have a soul when you're willing to spread more dumb crap from some fictitious confidant that seems like they're more so trolling than anything. I don't see the difference between this stupid confidant telling people dumb things with no evidence versus a stupid bot leaving comments talking about some recovery scam with GriftTech. I don't see the difference between the two. They're both dumb and annoying. It doesn't make sense to spread information that can be easily debunked with simple facts. Because in this universe and this reality, that is how court cases are scheduled. Court hearings are made available to the public. They're not top secret for these dumb peons. No, they're not. No matter how much you probably want it to be. I still see this as a sign of these promoters trying to dodge accountability because they really think that saying some stupid disclaimer literally exempts them from civil and criminal liability when it doesn't. It simply doesn't. And it's just, that is based on many digital assets, attorneys, and laws. Yeah, because no one's above the law. The law does not bend to your will because you don't like it. You know, the best way to build a defense, little girl, is to simply use the laws that exist to help prove your case. If all you have to do is show proof of legitimate trading, then why aren't you doing that? Why do you have your dumb confidant telling people stupid stuff, posting up messages that is clearly written by another scammer? The spelling errors in and of itself is a dead giveaway. You all should probably watch some scam baiting videos where you have these scammers that talk and speak and type like they barely learned English. It's just good enough to pass. But other than that, I mean, the syntax and the spelling and the grammatical errors alone scream scammer. Once again, putting out information that is just cruel and unnecessary to the people who have lost their money, trying to get answers and information, and all you're getting is more and more misinformation and dumb crap that can easily be debunked by simply Googling what the hell a court appearance is. How do you schedule that? A calendar. Trust wallets. I know that people are eager to try to get their money back, but please do not get to a point where you're tapped out of reality, because it's so easy to fall for more Ponzi schemes. If you fall for it once, the chances of you falling for a Ponzi scheme again is almost 60%, which is over half. And it's a very high number no matter how you put it. I literally don't want to see anyone in a predicament where they're just being scammed back to back to back to back. But at the very least, if something doesn't sound right or make logical sense, and you can't find proof of it, then question it and challenge it. No, you cannot go to court when you feel like it, little girl, and then expect people to work with you or cooperate with you in court over an order that has already been finalized when you failed to simply request a hearing or to show up for hearings when you were summoned. Why the hell do you really think you can just be above the law again? Why is your confidant trolling people at this point? It's like adding salt to the wound, and it's just disgusting. You're a con artist and you're a scammer. The moment you opened your mouth and lied about being a hedge fund or a broker, you knew you were being deliberately and intentionally deceptive. And deceptive business practices is also a very serious issue that can easily be proven by the fact that you lied about being licensed and certified or registered to do things that you weren't registered, licensed, or certified to do. It's not hard to find evidence and proof that you're a licensed broker or a licensed hedge fund. That's not hard to find evidence to prove that. Why do you think that no one would try to actually look that up? It's baffling to me. Are you kidding? So yeah, no, this is Ponzi scheme. NovaTech is a Ponzi scheme. I don't call everything a Ponzi scheme. I think I proved that point by doing a video about Live Good. I called that an MLM. very convoluted and complicated pay matrix that doesn't have to exist, but it's still an MLM. NovaTech is a Ponzi scheme. It was a Ponzi scheme from day one. And no one's still willing to demand proof of legitimate trading. I find that baffling. This woman is a psych major. She understands human behavior. She understands how all of you are going to think and feel and respond. And more than likely, because she came off the way she did, calling herself a Reverend CEO that most people would find laughable in any lifetime, she knew that it would play on your conscience and your faith and your feelings, play on you mentally and emotionally, and rope you and string you along, and then have you think that it's okay for her to hold your money hostage for no reason at all. If you start raising complaints, raising your voice and speaking out more, it will be harder and harder for the SEC, the FTC, the FBI, the state of Washington now that's willing to take information and complaints about NovaTech. The FBI is accepting complaints. It will be harder for them to ignore the more people raise a fuss about it, the more people discuss it. I wish that some of these larger YouTube channels would report on NovaTech. Give it the exposure it needs to have in order for the SEC to get off his ass and really do something and hurry up and do it. Or the FBI. So that people can get their money back. So a receivership can be set up so people can start getting some money back. But it's hard to do that when everybody wants to be hush-hush about a blatant Ponzi scheme. Y'all don't owe her anything. Report it. You got these dumbass uplines that keep saying all this nonsense with no evidence or proof. How is it that one Ponzi promoter can get a statement and no one else get it? And then still fail to actually post up proof of it. And yes, it will be scrutinized for validity. Because why should anyone just take your word for it? I don't know. I don't know why anyone would think that people should just believe what someone tells them because of some fictitious confidant that seems to be trolling and just being malicious and spreading misinformation willfully and intentionally, just to deter people from wanting their money back. You're getting people's hopes up about a new venture when you don't have the authority or the right to hold people's money hostage and start a new Ponzi scheme, little girl. No one gave you the authority to do that. The ones who don't mind following you to the ends of the earth from one Ponzi scheme to another, that's on them. But the ones that are saying, give me my money back, you should be giving it back because allegedly your stupid confidant, once again, puts their foot in their mouth and claims that you got $2 billion under management. Now, I know, as well as the most logical person on earth know, that they don't have your money. Your money is gone. But if you're going to have a stupid confidant spreading rumors like that, why not use it against you? Because you honestly are not doing anything to try to tamper the spread of this misinformation and getting people's hopes up for nothing. You got a functional website still, but yet people can't get their full refund. However, they're getting pennies on the dollar. You're still paying people with sticks and rocks. But you're not giving them that actual refund. Chabu. Okay, here's a video I wanted to check out.
And how to build the business. She know how to promote the companies. She know how to bring the companies to the really good rate of the market. And this is what we definitely need, because all of that people who working with the daily ROI companies, guys, we must to follow these people like Cynthia. So definitely, guys, because she have the experience.
Let me stop you right there. Earn income. Oh, what's his name? Earn online. You know better. Earn online. You know better. Stop it. You know better than that. There's no reason to follow a con artist unless you don't mind Ponzi schemes. I'm still waiting on the proof of legitimate trading with NovaTech. I don't understand this. Why would anyone try to support her, something they don't owe her, when she fails to produce proof of legitimate trading? If you're going to sit here and try to support her in saying that they were trading, show the damn proof. Post it up. Don't be coward about it. Post it up. You got financial statements from NovaTech? Post that crap up. And then please explain how one promoter is able to get that and not everybody that put money into this Ponzi scheme. Because she said out of her own mouth in a whole ass video that she would post that stuff up once people stop posting it to YouTube. Like someone really owes you that, girl. Don't nobody owe you that. Don't nobody owe you the pleasure of not posting information that should be made available to the public anyway, that you should be disclosing and reporting. No one owes you a matter of any level of secrecy. That's why any court hearing that you receive would be made available to the public, because we have a whole law for that. The Freedom of Public Information Act, the FOIA, FOIA, that's a real thing. That is a whole act. That's a whole piece of legislation to encourage transparency, something that you once upon a time hypocritically touted. I mean, you were being highly hypocritical to it, but you know. God and I are still just shrugging our shoulders at the hypocrisy of this nonsense. And I just cannot understand why anyone would think that people are supposed to just blindly believe everything they say because something called a confidant told them that in the middle of the night, I guess whispered it in their ear. Somehow, you know, had them believe that the process for battling something in court, it basically comes down to her doing what she wants to do when she's ready to do it. And that is not how that works. See, people say all this stuff until they're faced with the threat of being in front of a judge in federal court. Because that's exactly what she would be if the cease order was converted over into an enforceable action. That would be handled in a federal court of law. So I don't know why people think that they're so hard and knowledgeable. You can be a convicted felon all you want, but that doesn't mean that you understand the process or everything regarding the law. I can boldly admit that I don't. That's why I still look stuff up, Google things, and I read it in my video and show you all information. Because I don't know everything. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. That's a sign. It's part of being humble and being willing to learn. It's very arrogant and stubborn to sit here and refuse to post evidence on the most basic concepts and then string people along and have them think that they're supposed to just believe you. Are you kidding me? How about this? How about you leave people alone, stop trying to convince them of anything, and just give them their damn money back? Problem solved. I don't understand why that's so difficult. I don't lie, you know better. I can't even listen to this whole video. No one should follow somebody that has proven that they can do nothing more than deceive, lie, steal, cheat, defraud, money launder, and then think that they can dismiss summons and court orders and not have to answer to these court orders or abide by court orders. And then when stuff hits the fan and they realize that they're just not going to win this, then all of a sudden, some mysterious confidant comes out the woodwork saying, they're doing something in court. Are you kidding? This got to be the biggest joke upon mankind to ever exist. A cruel joke that just refuses to end. It's almost just infuriating how miserable they want people to be by refusing to post simple evidence that they're indeed addressing any issue in the court of law with no proof that they were even scheduled a hearing, or no one wants to even give a case number. The case has to also be active and open. It can't be closed and already decided upon, because that is not how the hell it works. Did I really need to have to pull that up? I mean, you know, when you put stuff out there, at least be logical in your nonsense and buffoonery, spreading information from some secret confidant that refuses to reveal themselves Where it could easily end up being this little girl herself putting that nonsense out there. It's just baffling to the mind. Okay. Just to show that I, for one, am just highly annoyed with this nonsense. Back on June 6th, I filed a complaint tip with the SEC. Gary Gensler, you are being very annoying. I'm going to need you to be decisive about a lot of things, but I'm going to definitely need you to be decisive about you investigating NovaTech. And yes, I did report some of these stupid promoters and uplines. You people are sickening. Your videos are sickening, and it's a treasure trove of evidence. But it's sickening to string people along to lie to them about something being an investment when it wasn't. And none of you have even tried to show proof of legitimate trading. The very thing that could clear this all up. And what do? You get in videos, you soundbite. You put NovaTech in the header and the title, knowing that people wanting their money back. Probably going to click on your videos because they're trying to figure out what the hell you know, what you're doing. And then you get in the video. I want to hear from you guys. You guys, I want to know your thoughts. And, if you've lost, it is what it is with DeFi. You lost your money. Click on this link and sign up under my name so I can get $15,000 a month in referral bonus. If you don't kick rocks and jump off a bridge, you better. Like I said, everybody gets their day. Yep. And to add to that, to help you understand why some of you had to be reported, because you've made enemies along the way. And you've pissed off a lot of people. You've defrauded a lot of people with your stupid pump and dump schemes and your dumb crypto projects. And people are pissed off with you. And then you're a coward and hide somewhere where you don't think people can find you. Guess what? Those people you've pissed off are all too happy to send over information to people like me that will forward it over to the appropriate authorities. I don't report everything that I have. I did not report every piece of evidence or document that I was able to obtain or that was sent to me by people that you dumb Ponzi promoters have pissed off royally. Nope. You'll just find out if anything happens. I mean, it is what it is, right? This is how DeFi works. Where you think it's one-sided and you get to take money from people and not face any consequences when you're defrauding others. This DeFi crypto nonsense is so exhausting. It's leaving a bad taste in people's mouths to where people don't even want to invest in crypto like that. Because it's so inundated with scams. You have the most blatant example of a Ponzi scheme right here with NovaTech. And people are literally trying to be willfully blind to the facts and evidence. Even twisting facts and evidence. Laws are laws. Facts are facts. And none of those things care about your dumb feelings or your stupid confidant. It's disgusting. Stop stringing people along. Don't expect people to do due diligence when there's no information available online about any of this crap that you're promoting. I even put up information about Live Good, but I didn't call it a Ponzi scheme either. I call it an MLM. I don't suggest you taking any products that was not properly tested with the certificate of analysis that I actually found and posted up. But to each his own. If you want to put crap in your body, then it is what it is. I would think you would want to treat your body better than that because you only get one body. You don't know what's in those multivitamins. At least the man that Live Good retest those products with a more reputable testing lab facility. The most simplest things that you all should be demanding, you don't demand it. Proof of legitimate trading. Financial statements. disclosures of financial statements, anything regarding revenue, a 1099 form to file with your taxes. These are the things that NovaTech should have been providing to you all with no problem at all. It is not up to her to decide if she wants to show proof of legitimate trading. Either the information is there or it's not. Either way, she will be questioned and challenged on it. And so will some of you dumb promoters that put that nonsense out there. NovaTech was a Ponzi scheme from day one. Like I said, the moment she opened her mouth and lied about it being a hedge fund or broker, or registered as a broker through MetaTrader, which MetaTrader specifically states on their website that you must be a broker to use this platform, and made it very clear that they are not a broker. So the lies on top of the lies, plus all of the deception, the fact that you're selling packages for thousands of dollars and giving nothing in return. And then you can't do the most basic, simple thing to help clear any of this up and show proof of trading, legitimate A-book trading that went to market, not B-booking it with your fake crypto. By the way, BTC HD is still worth 6 pennies. What the hell are you all supposed to do with that? Please explain to me, how many bills can you pay with 6 pennies? Who's going to pay their rent and mortgage with 6 cents? If you have rent or mortgage that's only 6 cents, I would love to know how the hell you get that type of low rent or mortgage. I don't know any utility bill that is 6 cents. Light bill, gas bill, water bill, car insurance. If you got loans, what bill do you have that's 6 cents that you can easily use one of those crypto tokens to pay off? Please enlighten me, because I'm missing out on a whole lot of math with that. And then the audacity to say that someone's being self-righteous for pointing out facts and evidence because your dumb behind failed to read in Google. But yet you will easily spread information from some dumb confidant that sounds like they're trolling out of cruelty because they don't care. Because reasons. It's stupid. If you have tips and you see people leaving comments on how to actually become their own traders, you're not a licensed trader. You do understand there's a difference. So let's keep that transparent and honest and clear. However, if there's a way for people to do it and you understand how to do it, show them for free. Don't soundbite NovaTech in your videos and put NovaTech in the header of your videos. Say nothing but yada, yada, yada and a bunch of hot fluff. Give no updates whatsoever that's beneficial. And then tell people to click on your links for other affiliates and other projects. Or recommend some trader that's an expert. And then say they got to pay for all that stuff. And you're making $15,000 a month. And you probably could take an hour out your day to show people how to do it the right way. Because these are the same people that have already lost thousands of dollars to NovaTech, the Ponzi scheme, because it's a damn Ponzi scheme. It always has been a Ponzi scheme. It would always be a Ponzi scheme. And anything in the court of law will be made available to the public, and that will be revealed as well. If the facts and evidence that are already available is not sufficient to show and prove that it's a Ponzi scheme, and you got these dumb promoters that are saying that they have all this information, but they refuse to post it, then why should anyone take you seriously? Why should you not be reported? How about that? So, yeah, I'm going to finish up the one for the FBI because they're taking complaints as well. And just as a heads up, you can only attach 25 pieces of documents to a claim if you go through SEC. I had to do 2 rounds of it because I had about 50 pieces of evidence that I had to submit off. Make sure the files aren't too large. They can't be, too large to be uploaded. You got to make sure is the limit on the document, the file size limit is low enough to actually be uploaded. But yeah, I did that because this is enough. I know 4 people that are still caught up in this stupid crap and they want their money back. And you have people that are just being completely disingenuous. They want you all to click on all their links for all this other nonsense when you're still hurting and trying to get your money back from NovaTech. That was a Ponzi scheme, not some loss in risk and all this other stuff that was unrelated to a market when they can't prove that they were trading in the market. So how the hell is this risk assessment? These same people are saying those terms and they don't know the definition of them. And you can take my so-called condescending comments however you want. It still does not resolve the matter that people want their money back, and this damn girl does not have the right to hold their money hostage. And it's disgusting that you think that people should just click on the next pump and dump scheme that you're promoting. It's ridiculous. And then you call yourself trying to help people by telling them to buy more packages to get some course on something regarding trading with crypto that anyone can create. You all realize that anyone can create fake crypto. I did show that in a video. A YouTuber went through the whole process on how to create fake crypto. So why should someone pay for your stupid course when they can just learn how to make fake crypto themselves? What the hell is your course going to teach them that they cannot learn for free on any other YouTube video? Because I showed a whole video of a YouTuber who did it to show how easy it is to make fake crypto. And you can watch that video for free. You don't need to pay anybody for a course to see free videos of how to do certain things. There's no reason to pay for that crap. You can watch it for free. So it's disingenuous to do that. Don't soundbite people to your videos, and then you can't even show them one free hour of how to trade a crypto that could easily be made up as well from someone else's cell phone. You don't kick rocks. Please do not follow this little girl to the ends of the earth. Unless you're ready to fall off that cliff. I don't understand why anybody would do that at this point. Unless you're already a criminal and you think it's okay to break laws and then want to whine and complain about it because you got caught breaking laws. I mean, I don't get it. Either you're going to take responsibility or you're not. What sense does it make to see him brag about having had any felonies, misdemeanors, tickets, gone to jail, or anything, and you learned nothing because you kept repeating those same offenses? You still put out information with no evidence. You still lie and twist up facts and laws. So you're proving that you're just proud to be a criminal. I mean, that's all I'm seeing. You're proud of being a felon. You're proud of being someone that went to prison or jail. None of that crap is cute. It's stupid. But, you're proud of your felony. All right. I'm done.